fine, as always.
Very good. Glowing as always. Love
Thank
it.
you. How are
Yeah,
you doing?
I'm good. Thank you.
Good,
Nice day today as well.
good.
So, I thought about a question. It's a hard topic, I think, but I thought it's relevant and it's important to discuss it. I hear so much about racial profiling, and of course, I see also people who are subject to it. And I wanted to know, um, would you explain what racial profiling exactly is?
Mm-hmm.
And also whether you have ever been subject to it.
Mm-hmm. I could ask the question back. Do you really think a black person has never experienced racial profiling?
No, I
No.
don't. And that's exactly why I think it's important to talk about it and
Mm,
also
mm,
raise awareness how it feels for people, raise awareness of the biases that we all have.
right.
So, yeah.
Um, I mean, yes, the first question or the second question, whether I've been subject to racial profiling. Yes, of course. And I remember one situation when I was driving and a friend was with me, a male friend was with me, and I stopped at a bus stop and I wanted to drop him off. And then the police stopped behind us and came and approached me, and I had to put the window down. And the police officer said, "What are you doing here?" And I said, "Well, we're having a conversation, and I want to drop him off."
Mm.
And the police officer said, "Oh, that's what it's called nowadays." And I thought, what does he think we are doing?
Mm.
And I didn't ask. Nowadays, I would ask, but at that time, I didn't ask. But I I'm sure he thought I'm a prostitute and I'm dropping my customer off. Yeah.
Mm.
And because there was no reason for him to say this is what you call or what we call it nowadays. I mean,
A
what?
conversation.
What does he mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that was really strange. That was really strange. And the friend who was with me, he was a white male person. He didn't say anything. Yeah. And so like being an ally, he was no ally and was no friend, let me say so. I mean, he was a friend at that time, but then
That's not.
not anymore because I thought, well, you could have said something. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, of course. So what is racial profiling? What is profiling?
Mhm.
Profiling is when you see a person and coming from the appearance of that person, you come to conclusion that the person must be this or that. Yeah. So racial profiling, when you see a black person, that you have the idea or assumption that that person must be a refugee, must be
Mhm.
someone in this shop who does not belong there because the person has no money,
Mhm.
and so on. Yeah. So negative things. I mean, profiling can also be positive in a way that when you think, oh, that person must have a lot of money
Mhm.
because the person is looks rich, for example, yeah. But racial profiling is never positive.
So actually, what racial profiling is all about having biases
Yes,
and then being at that crossroads where we think about how to react to those.
that's
Because
right.
we have them, we have our ideas, we can't even help having the thought.
Hmm.
However, the question is what we're doing with that thought, right?
Right. And
How
we
we
have to
react.
be aware that everyone has prejudice in a way. Yeah, every person. And it's not that having the prejudice is what is the negative thing,
Mhm.
is when you ignore them.
Mhm.
Yeah. So you have to admit to yourself, oh, yes, I also have them. I also do profiling. And that's why I try to not doing this profiling.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But if you think, no, I'm good, and the way I think is the perfect way,
Mhm.
then of course it can tend into a negative and end into a negative situation.
And then it becomes discrimination, right? For
Yes,
me,
of
always
course.
the order is generalization, stereotyping, prejudice, discrimination.
Hmm.
That's the path it takes if we
Yes.
are not careful, right? If you don't wait for that split second and evaluating our reaction to come.
Yes.
Yeah.
This self-evaluation is very
Yes.
important. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
not to ignore the own feelings. Yeah, that's very
I love that you added that positive element to it, that it is about judging in a way or evaluating and then saying, okay, this person for me belongs to this or that area, right? It also, and that it can be positive. That's the positive aspect. So that you evaluate a person by their outfit, by the way that they behave. And then that's the way we can also steer it in a direction if we wanted to, right?
Yeah,
Having,
although the question is that positive? Because only because a person wears a Rolex or Gucci or whatever, it can also lead into the
very
negative
true.
direction. When for example, a customer comes into a high-profile shop, and I think, oh, that customer looks very rich, and of course the customer will buy the car, Porsche or whatever. Yeah. So, who says only because the customer wears a Gucci or like
Whatever brand,
whatever
we are
other
not
things.
making
Yeah.
any advertising here.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
customer can buy the car. Yeah. The other
Mm.
customer who comes with a jogging trousers and just a t-shirt
Mhm.
may also be wealthy and can buy the car. So that can mislead.
Yeah. And we are led by all those ideas that we have in mind looking
Oh,
at the
yes.
person.
Oh,
But it's
yes.
not only about outfit or about ethnicity. It can also be about, disability, for
Oh,
example.
yes. Of
How
course.
much ability do we give someone if they
Exactly.
obviously have a disability?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
How do we react to that then?
Yeah, I made the experience myself when I spoke to a teacher who is blind. And I mean, as I work in this field,
Mhm.
I I know how to not react. Yeah.
Mhm.
So it was not that I told him, well, you can't do this, that, or that. The other way around, I asked him, what can you do? Tell me what you can do, and then we will find a good place for you where you can work.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I was astonished what he was able to do and what he told me and what he
Mhm.
actually can do. Yeah.
Mhm. Or also what people asking them what they expect.
Mm-hmm.
I remember a contact that I had, an acquaintance, and it was a lady in a wheelchair.
Mm-hmm.
And she really appreciated, and she also said it when people were talking to her, if they would either sit down or, otherwise everyone talking to her would always talk down.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't have to be. Maybe it's, entering a conversation, asking people what they prefer, what they want. What would
Mm-hmm.
you expect people not to do?
Well, if it comes
If
to,
you,
you mean if it comes to my person or in general?
in general, if no,
In,
if for you personally,
for
what
me
would you,
personally,
yeah.
well, I don't expect them to put me into a corner just because I'm black.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, I take it um as a joke, quote unquote. No. So when I come into a shop, not when it comes to working or dealing with police, but when I come into a shop and the person thinks I can't buy something because I'm black, it really it happened to me once, but yeah, then I find this funny because I think, oh, you know what, I can buy it, but I wouldn't buy it at your shop because well, like in Pretty Woman, too late. Yeah.
Give the commission to someone else. Yeah,
Yes,
right.
yes,
Love
yes,
that.
that's right.
So actually, I mean, concluding, we could say that it is about being aware of biases
Yes,
or making the effort to
overcome them.
get aware.
Yes,
Sometimes because it's called unconscious bias very often because we're not aware of it, but making an effort to become aware of them
yes,
and then acting accordingly. Could we agree
that's
on
it.
that or yeah?
Yeah, yeah, that's it. That's the only way. So it's not a mistake not knowing something, but it's a mistake to pretend that you know everything.
Mhm. Yeah. And as always, people watching our conversation here, share your opinion. What happened to you? What did you think? How did it work out? What happened to you maybe, and how did you react to that? We would love to know that.
Oh, yes.
And thank you as always for sharing your opinion, sharing your experience. So valuable, and yeah, looking forward to our next conversation already.
Right. And thank you for asking. Bye-bye.